Narayan. Salutations, dear respected sadhakas, jignasus, mumukshus, bhaktas of the Lord, and wonderful shishyas of the Guru Parampara, Shastra, and Adhyatmikata. In life, we can know clearly by now that whatever we vote for, that gets elected and it rules us. This choice is always there. We have to have that conscious wisdom to vote properly, to elect properly, to get ruled. That voting, electing, ruling is our own mind's continuous, constant thoughts. Given full freedom, given the equipments, antakarana, given the outside guidance to grow as well as the temptations to fall. Everything is fully given. This is the play going on. Not understanding this play, called as ignorance, when we vote for something other than Bhagavan, that means when we, through our mind is the means, everything is in mind. Through the mind, in the mind, when our all entertainments, thinkings are about the perishable, ephemeral world, that mind takes us and lands us into that experience of ephemerality or modification or change or death. We are going through that now. It has become a habit. It created vasanas. They are forcing us. When the vasanas force, we just indulge with the mind in the world. Everybody does that, and that's not at all a problem to a non-seeker because he is fully into that only, and he does only that one. Vasana coming as desire, involving in the world. Okay, there is no other thing. Only those few people who, through God's Guru's grace or their own thinking, started to think about something higher or greater, then in that pursuit for higher and greater, these vasanas, these habits of naturally going into the world and worldliness through the mind becomes an obstacle. You and I, as the seekers of the truth, have this problem. And for such people, this is the idea given. Ki in course of time, knowingly or unknowingly, we have exposed our mind to the worldliness. Therefore, whole personality of ours, the Vasanamaya Kosha, Buddhi and its Vicharana, mind and its emotions, working of the senses with prana, all of them has become worldly only. Into that we are totally. Not knowing or knowing whatever reason. By knowing that reason, we are not going to have much benefit. But the thing is what? Even though it takes lot of struggle, lot of efforts, lot of time, yet in time, if we can struggle and put efforts, in what way? In putting our mind in the positive things, which is very tough because of habit of the other things so far, vasanas of the other things so far. Yet knowing that it was I, knowingly or unknowingly, have sent my mind there and have come to this position of, let us say, samsara in one word. Again, I myself, if I can put efforts, I can eject out of it and grow spiritually. If we can accept this principle from the core of the heart, not compromising with that understanding even once, accordingly, depending on the Shakti we have that day or that time, depending on the favorable some circumstances that are provided to us on that day, if we can keep on entertaining in our mind thoughts of spirituality, then the load of the spirituality, the weight of the spirituality starts growing in us. And we have to start slowly doing it exclusively. In the initial days, the big struggle. Spiritual also, we allow the mind to go into because of the earlier habits, vasana, the worldliness also. That struggle happens for a few lives. But during that, if we become conscious, contemplative, and find the mistake is with us that we only are engaging with our mind in the worldliness or exposing ourselves to those situations where either the inherent vasanas from within or the habits of the equipment, especially mind, or the world outside is pulling us towards that side. If this wisdom, common sense we have, then avoid all the things. Don't go to that side. Go only to this side. Then, when more and more the mind is exposed only to this exclusively, these are the ones, the spiritual thoughts, spiritual understandings grow in us. And yet, the danger is not over. Like the snake ladder example or the play, till the Paramatma Anubhuti comes. These inner enemy of vasanas, habit of the mind, and the taste for the worldliness, every time keeps on attacking us. Every time we have to be alert, very careful, see to it that we are not defeated by it. Even sometimes we get defeated, we have to again become stronger enough, pull out, and then defeat them, come back to spirituality. This is how my mind, where do I expose, decides what I am, a samsari or a sadhaka. Mind, when taken into the world, rides us or takes us on itself as a rider, pushes us into the ephemeral world, temporary world, destroying world, and we suffer. Same the mind, when taken to spirituality, it takes us into that ride. It merges and it makes us also merge in the experience of the infinite Lord. This clarity when we have and continuously expose to the Shastra Dhenam, more than that, to the Vicharana of what is said in the Shastra regarding the self, the truth, the bandhana, the moksha, to that extent, the confusions, misunderstandings born out of the ignorance, all of them start going away. This is how independently every one of us taking charge of our life, taking the life itself into our own hands, we have to go on working, working, working. And it should become an exclusive job only for survival obligations, duties that we are in the world, that too for a short period of time. The rest of our all efforts are only towards this. Even to have the clarity of all these things, convictions of all these things, inspirations to consistently do all these things, the only way is our निरंतर श्रवण और अध्ययन ऑफ द शास्त्रास. क्योंकि सिर्फ शास्त्रों में ही गुरु के द्वारा ही ये बातें बोले जाते हैं. शास्त्र we cannot study independently, therefore from the guru has his own experience and knack and love and exposure of how to tell to the shishyas or the listeners how to understand that shastra, how to use them for one's molding from the worldliness to spirituality. Thus, through Nitya Nirantara Shastra Adhyayana Shravana, knowing that what we are doing is what wrong we are doing, knowing what right we have to do, keep on exposing ourselves and doing the right. An excellent acute awareness is required for that. जनरली वी आर स्टूपरस और लेजी वे आर स्लम्बरस. भूल ही जाते हैं कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं लेकिन याद ही नहीं रहता क्या कर रहे हैं. आधा माइंड में होता है. इवन वन हु इज क्वाइटेंड हिज माइंड टू एक्सटेंड विथ जपा एंड पूजा, he also power of tamoguna when overpowers, he just loses sight of what he is doing but sight is lost. If this is our case, or the case of those who are so much into the tamo rajogunatmaka jagat all the time, how much are the chances for them for the total forgetfulness of what they are doing, what for they are doing? You know, that's how the people too much in the worldliness, even though they are in spirituality, doing japa or upasana, they are physically there, they are not at all there in their own heart doing sadhana. विचित्र होता है. हम भी इस स्टेज से गुजरते हुए आगे आ रहे हैं. wherein we are aware of what we are doing, how to do and what to achieve. ये भी थोड़ा टाइम लगता है इस लेवल पे आने के लिए, बट ऑल इज बाय अगेन गॉड्स गुरुस ग्रेस थ्रू द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ शास्त्र थ्रू सत्संग. दिस इज द वे एंड द ओनली वे, दिस नो अदर वे. So thus let us expose to Shastra Adhyanam daily and get the understanding very, very clear regarding where we have to reach to in our experience and what to do for that and how to prepare ourselves. A part of preparation, most essential part is how to wean away from the totally opposite way of lifestyle, internal and external. वो दोष दृष्टियाँ ले आकर, वो प्रतिपक्ष भावनाएं ले आकर, फिर कुछ हिम्मत हौसला को लेकर, कुछ ऑप्टिमिज्म को बढ़ाकर, और जो लोग ऑलरेडी स्पिरिचुअल में है, टेकिंग देम एज एन एग्जांपल. दीज आर द वेरियस वेपन्स that are required to mold our convictions from the worldliness to the spirituality, to mold our behaviors from the worldly to spirituality, to mold our faiths from the worldly to spirituality. Takes time. लगता है जीते हैं हमने, वरना अगले क्षण में फिर से हार जाते, फिर से लड़ा, फिर हार गए, कभी जीते. वो ये सिलसिला चलता ही रहता है टिल वी स्टार्ट थ्रू द एक्सपीरियंस learning the things how to tackle, manage, and in its parakasta, wherever we are nowhere with the world, we are with the world, Paramatma only. That stage has to come. That's called actually samadhanam in technical words in the Shamadhi Shatka Sampada. Sarvada Sthapanam Buddhehe Shuddhe Brahmani Sarvatha Tat Samadhanam Ityuktam Natu Chittasya Lalanam. So let us give a chance to ourselves all day through. The opportunity is given by encashing them up, studying Shastras to start with the Aitareya Upanishad, followed by Yoga Darshanam little bit, then Mundaka Upanishad, final stages. Gita just began the 12th chapter, and we do the 87th chapter in Bhagavatam Uttara Ardham, where Shruti Mata doing Stuti of Paramatma. In Adhyatma Ramayanam, what a beautiful text of Sri Rama Gita, Lord Rama's teachings to Lakshmana, which contains quintessence of entire Vedanta in those 62 verses. We are going to start today. Then our beginning of our new Sahasranamavali Parayanam, that is of Bhagavan Sri Dattatreya. Let us begin with our daily Parayanams. Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम निधये सर्व विद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यमेकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. ॐ विदितानमया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विदेहि कृपां सहजां भव शङ्कर देशिकमे शरणम्. ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो गुरुभ्यो अस्मद् गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री वेदव्यास आद्य शंकराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगतिद्वारा विश्वशान्ति विश्वकल्याण विश्व एकता विश्वसामरस्यता विश्व सौभ्रातृत्व विश्व पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठितानां